name is Andrea Barrett, and I am the host of 360 Wellness. This is a show where we share information and ideas, bring you some of the latest research, tips, and strategies so you can be a better, healthier version of yourself. So glad you stayed tuned and enjoyed this today. Last week, we talked about breast cancer. Now, most people know I'm a pre-diabetes nutritionist and wellness expert, have a family history of type 2 diabetes, so pre-diabetes and diabetes are near and dear to my heart. However, this October, we've dedicated 2 shows to talk about breast cancer. October in Canada is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I think it's really important to share information, dispel any facts or untruths, and give some good concrete studies, research, tips, and suggestions to women and men dealing with breast cancer. I also think it's important to be intentional and pay special care with their caregivers. Caregivers often go unnoticed and honestly, I'm going to say not as supported as we should and could be. The caregiver, the person supporting, nurturing, feeding, loving, taking care of the breast cancer patient is also important, and we need to make sure that we're looking after them as well. Last week's show, we had a great conversation with Juliette Creary, who's a registered nurse and skincare consultant. We talked about breast cancer, we talked about the importance of getting tested, and we dispelled some myths. There's one that I want to repeat at this show. Breast cancer does not just strike women of a certain age. Breast cancer can affect anybody at any age. It's very important that women get tested regardless of their age. In the past, we thought breast cancer was an older person's disease. It's something that your grandmother may or may not develop, something that you only needed to worry about if you're 55, 60 and higher. That is untrue. What we learned last week was it's so important to know your breasts and to get tested. I would like to encourage anybody watching this show or anybody who cares for anybody watching this show to go and get tested. Simply make an appointment, go see your family physician and get tested. The earlier you get tested and checked, the better off you are. Another myth that we dispelled during the show last week is that breast cancer only affected women. Not true. Men can also develop breast cancer. So it's important that everyone go and get tested. Now, interestingly enough, there is, I guess, a misconception of the types of races or cultures or people of certain backgrounds that can develop breast cancer. Breast cancer does not discriminate. Anybody, any age, any background, any race, any ethnicity can and have developed breast cancer. So it's important that everyone watching this show, please go and get tested. So I want to make sure we bring a lot of awareness to this issue, being October and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So last week when we had our conversation with the registered nurse, Juliette Creary, we talked about breast cancer. We said that it develops in the cells. So we know that breast cancer, cancerous tumors are a group of cancer cells that can grow into and destroy nearby tissue. We also know that breast cancer, these tumors, these cells can spread. The other word for that, the clinical word for that is metastasize to other parts of your body. So you can develop breast cancer in one part of your body, it can be treated, and it can still metastasize and spread to another part of your body. The information I'm sharing in this show came from a few different sources. I took a look at the British Columbia Cancer Agency. I took a look at the Susan Komen Foundation, and I also took a look at the Canadian Cancer Society. So as we all know, I'm a nutritionist and love to talk about food and wanted to spell a fact about food and breast cancer right off the bat. There is no special diet or special food that can prevent, treat, or cure breast cancer. So I just want to repeat that. There's no special diet, there's no special food, there's no special nutrition program that can cure, prevent, or treat breast cancer. I want to just dispel that right off the bat. What's important to know is a healthy diet is what's important. Although you can be on the best diet, the cleanest diet, paleo, keto, gluten-free, vegan, pescatarian, you can be on whatever diet and you can still be diagnosed with breast cancer. So there isn't one specific diet. What's important is to have great eating habits, to have a variety of food on your plate, different colors, different minerals, different antioxidants, different macronutrients that will keep you strong and healthy. So one of the things that I found in my research is that it's important to maintain a healthy weight. There have been more negative studies on, or negative outcomes on people that have been overweight, that have been obese, or that have just been very physically inactive. So what is important is to be a healthy weight. You need to maintain a healthy weight. Now that doesn't mean you need to go on any fad diets or do anything drastic like that. You just need to maintain a healthy weight. There's also been some research on plant-based diets. There is benefit of incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your diet, but you don't necessarily have to be exclusively on a vegan or vegetarian diet. What's important is to make sure you're consuming lots of leafy greens, you're getting lots of fiber, you're eating all of your fruits and vegetables, and you're getting food from a wide variety and colorful sources. Another very important factor, which may not be a surprise, is physical activity. So hopefully you're seeing that what I'm sharing now is basic information we talk about with anybody who has prediabetes or high blood pressure or people who just want to maintain a healthy weight. It's the same thing when it comes to eating well for a cancer diagnosis or in terms of prevention. It's just about having a healthy diet. Physical activity. According to Health Canada, we should aim for a minimum of 150 minutes of exercise per week. And really, that's not a lot. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need a fancy gym membership. You just need some running shoes. 150 minutes of exercise, simply walking. If you're able to go outside, go to a park, go down the street, excellent. If you are in a building or in a condo or an apartment, walking in the hallways, walking up and down the stairs, just walking, or just literally, if you can only walk in the premises, just doing some walking, getting your heartbeat up, getting the circulation go, and actually moving your body. So maintaining a healthy weight, incorporating more plant-based options into your diet, as well as engaging in physical activity. Now, cancer is complex and it's caused by a combination of factors. So that's why we can't say there's a special diet or special foods. It can be, what causes it is complex and a lot of different factors come into play. We know that men and women who are currently going through treatment for cancer, breast cancer, develop some uncomfortableness. So there's mouth sores, low appetite, nausea, and vomiting. So now you can imagine if you were dealing with any of the four, or if you're dealing with all four, you're not going to feel like eating and you're not going to want to consume anything, which then impacts your weight. You may become underweight. Also, by not feeling like eating, or if feeling like eating is discomfort and you're not feeling good about it, you're going to miss out on some very important key nutrients. So these are some of the symptoms people who've either undergone chemotherapy or hormone therapy or some medication may be experiencing. So if you don't have an appetite or eating is not as desirable or pleasurable as you'd like, blended drinks are great. So hopefully you have a blender, or if you know someone currently going through treatment for cancer, having blended drinks. You can make soups, you can make smoothies, you can do juices, you can just puree things. That is a great way to get food into your mouth, especially if you have mouth sores and some discomfort. When we're eating, we need to make sure we're eating a lot of nutrient dense and delicious and colorful grains, fruits, and vegetables. We also want to make sure we get some great fats and protein. Healthy fats will help us maintain weight. So if you're having trouble keeping your weight on, you can have some great healthy fats. We're talking about cashews, almonds, walnuts. If you're not able to eat these nuts and seeds whole, you can have them in a nut butter. Almond butter, cashew butter, walnut butter, peanut butter. So get these healthy sources of fats will put some pounds on you. Also avocados. I love avocados. This is tied for my number one form of fat. It's creamy, it's filling, it's high in calories, and will keep you satiated and keep you going. You can eat this raw, just cut it up, eat it right out of its skin. You can put this on top of a salad. Avocado toast seems to be something very popular these days. Simply cut open the avocado and slather it all over whatever it is you're having. Bread, crackers, romaine leaf, avocado. Have it in whatever way you can. Avocados can also be had you can make ice cream with avocados, and you can also put it in your smoothie. So if you're having trouble getting a lot of calories into your diet, putting an avocado, and I mean this whole avocado, you can see this one isn't so big. Put this whole avocado into your smoothie. It'll make it really creamy and rich and will keep you full. And avocados are really dense, full of calories, and you need the calories to keep your energy up. So we need healthy fats and we need protein. A lot of people aren't aware that protein is essential for our tissues, and it's also essential for supporting your immune system. So you want to make sure, if you're not getting a lot of meals, that you're getting some sort of protein in there. So that comes from beans, or that comes from legumes, or that comes from eating animal protein. If you're eating animal protein, eggs, chicken, fish, salmon, trout, mackerel, anchovies. So I have some examples of some protein. So here is tuna. Tuna is a great source of protein. You can eat this straight out of the can. You can cook it up with some onions and scallion and tomatoes, or you can put it in a sandwich, or you can put it on top of a salad. So tuna is a great source of protein. There's also sardines, another very good source of protein. Same thing. You can eat these straight out of the package, straight out of the container, or you can warm them up, add some spices, make them taste good. Add some onions and some garlic and throw some vegetables in there. Put this over rice or a healthy grain, or you can put this on top of your salads. Sardines are also very good. And again, we just talked about chicken and turkey and goats and oxtail and meat. Any sort of animal protein, great source of protein. If you're plant-based, tofu, tempeh, seitan, looking for plant-based solutions that will provide a lot of protein for you, which is important. So again, protein is important because you need it for your tissues, and you also need it to support your immune system. Another way to get protein is to supplement it. So this is protein powder. Wide variety of different protein powders currently on the market. If you visit your local health food store or your local grocery store, or if you even order it online, you want to look for a good, clean source of protein. You can get protein powder from plant-based or animal-based. So protein, plant-based, comes from a wide variety. I've seen cranberry, I've seen pea, I've seen hemp, I've seen soy. So a wide variety of plant-based protein, which comes in a lot of different flavors, or you can get regular protein powder from animals, usually whey protein. What you can do is you can put this in your smoothie. It'll thicken it up, and it will give you instantly more protein. You can also put this in avocado pudding, or put this in oats. If you're having some oats and some dairy milk, or you're having some oats and some nut milk, you can add protein powder to it. It'll thicken it up a little bit, and it will give you more protein. So protein is very important when going through recovering from treatment from breast cancer, or just for general good health. Now so more on the healthy fats. So we talked about nuts and seeds, avocados. We talked about olives. When it comes to seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, lots of good rich seeds. I encourage people to visit your bulk store. Take a look at the different things there. I find that a lot of us tend to eat the same thing over and over again. We're quite familiar with peanuts, and we're quite familiar with almonds. There are pistachios, there are Brazil nuts, there's a lot of selenium in these products. So it's important to try and experiment with different types of nuts and seeds. When purchasing these things, remember, you don't want any added salt. So you want to buy unsalted nuts and seeds, and you don't want them roasted. Anything that's roasted means heat has been applied. So perhaps heat and oil. And it could be sitting in that container or that bin for who knows how long. And it's not what you want in your body. You want raw, you want unprocessed, you want natural. So I encourage you when you're shopping, again, at the bulk store or your grocery store or your local health store. And actually, quite frankly, I've seen nuts and seeds everywhere. You can buy it at the gas station, you can buy it at the dollar store, but buyer beware. Make sure you're reading the packaging. Don't be dazzled by everything you see on the front of the label. Turn everything over and read the back. Here I have an example of some sunflower seeds. So you need to make sure that the sunflower seeds you're purchasing, that the ingredient is just sunflower seeds. There's no oils, there's no salt, nothing here says roasted. These are raw. Raw is best. At times you may find raw nuts and seeds or unsalted nuts and seeds may cost more, but trust me, it is better for you and your body will appreciate it and thank you when you put the good stuff in. This is fuel for your body. This is information for your body. And so and what you're cooking with, olive oils, coconut oils, butter. Low quantities of fat are good. Fat flavors our food. We need healthy fats in our body. Make sure that you're buying things that coming from reputable companies, and don't be afraid of using fat in your cooking and fat to sprinkle on your food. In fact, when you're eating salads, there's a misconception that you don't want any salad dressing on your salad. You're going to order this big, beautiful salad and you're going to say, oh, please, let's hold the dressing. Hold the bad dressing, the really thick, sweet dressing full of artificial stuff, but balsamic vinegar and olive oil, very clean, very good. In fact, you can't absorb the nutrients in your salad unless it's paired with oil. So if you order a salad, greens, arugula, romaine, cucumbers, bell peppers, just a lot of good stuff, but you don't have any dressing with it, you are not absorbing the nutrients in those greens. Eating a bag of spinach without dressing really is doing you no good. You can't avoid it. It's like yin and yang, you need them together. So make sure you're getting good sources of olive oil. While we're speaking of olive oil, there have been studies that show that it's buyer beware. Sometimes we're in a haste at the grocery store and we're grabbing a bottle that's shaped like olive oil and that looks like it's olive oil, but really when you read it, it's olive oil mixed with something else. So you want to make sure when you are purchasing this product, take a minute just to read what's in it. Turn it to the back and make sure you can see. Here is an example of olive oil. It doesn't necessarily have to be organic, but it needs to be olive oil. There are unscrupulous manufacturers out there that are cutting olive oil with other oil. If that's not what you want to buy, make sure you're picking up the right thing. And blended drinks. So we talked about smoothies, we talked about juices, and we talked about soups. When you're buying juice or making a juice, make sure that you're getting some fiber in there. So I like to encourage people to avoid the store-bought juices because it's really high in sugar. You can make a juice at your home with a blender or a juicer and put a lot of green produce, a lot of green fruits and vegetables in there. You'll be so much better off for it because it's full of fiber. And fiber is what we're going to talk about at the end of our commercial break. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Trip allocation and cash out your earnings whenever you want. Download our driver apps today to sign up.
Canada's #1 African barbecue, the Suya Spot. Serving and satisfying your Suya needs from multiple locations across the GTA, including Scarborough, Toronto, Woodbridge, and Mississauga. Also located in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Visit any location today or stay home and order through
DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Skip the Dishes.
For more information, check out our website at www.thesuyaspot.com or call the toll-free line at +1 866 448 7892. The Suya Spot. You built it, now use it. Vous l'avez construit, utilisez.
All right, so before the break, we were talking about fiber, and even before that, we were talking about juice. So here I have two pieces of fruit. I have an orange and I have an apple. It's best to eat the fruit whole intact, like you see right here, instead of the juice. This apple, it's better for you to eat the apple than to drink apple juice. This orange, it's better for you to eat this orange than it is for you to drink orange juice for a few reasons. One, the time that it takes. When you take the time to bite into this apple and chew, you are doing your body a favor. You're getting more fiber and more nutrients in eating this apple with the skin. You're taking time, your taste buds are awake, you're enjoying it. When you are just drinking juice, it happens quickly and you're missing all the fiber, and fiber is so crucial for our digestion. Same thing with this orange. When you take the time to peel this and eat it one by one, it takes longer, and that is actually will fill you up, as opposed to opening up the fridge, grabbing the jug, pouring it into a glass and drinking it. It takes longer to eat the orange, and this orange here is full of fiber. So when it comes to juice, I really discourage people from drinking juice, especially store-bought juice, because it raises your blood sugar, because really it's just sugar. If you can take the time to eat a piece of fruit, your body will thank you. So that's where we're going to get some fiber. Fiber also comes from avocados. You'll find fiber in a lot of grains. So we're talking about rice, we're talking about barley, we're talking about millet, we're talking about amaranth, we're talking about teff. A lot of great grains. I find that a lot of people really just eat rice. There are people who only eat white rice. Again, I love to go to stores like any kind of bulk store where you can try new things. I also encourage people to shop in new grocery stores. Try, what's called the ethnic grocery store or the international aisle of a grocery store. Check out the different grains there. Buckwheat, whole wheat, try them out, kamut, spelt. There's so many great things. Try them, buy them in small quantities and see what you can do. Lots of great recipes right now online. Also, great sources of fiber is flax. So flax seeds. When you're buying your flax seeds, you need to grind them up. If you go to any of these stores and you buy the whole flax seed and you sprinkle it in whatever you're eating or you put it in your smoothie, you're not absorbing any of it. It's going to go right through you. Trust me, it's going to go right through you. The way to unlock all the power is to grind it up. So if you buy flax seeds, they need to be in the fridge or in the freezer, kept fresh and cold. Buy a little coffee grinder or something small and grind up your flax seeds as you need them. That is how you unlock and unleash all of the fiber and the power of flax seeds. The same thing for chia seeds. You want to put that in your smoothie or your water or your pudding. It will thicken up and it's full of fiber and will keep you regular. This is what we need to keep a healthy weight and to have a healthy diet. And then there's legumes. So here is an example of some legumes. Put this in your salad, cook this up in a soup. Make this into a stew. If you're making chili, put lots of legumes and beans in there. Legumes are a great source of protein and also a really good source of fiber. So make sure you can either buy them dry and then soak them before cooking, or you can buy them in cans. So now let's talk about antioxidants. So at the beginning of the segment, we talked about breast cancer and cells and how they're damaged. Antioxidants are chemical substances that are found in some foods. So we know, or most people are aware, you find them in fruits and vegetables. You always hear people saying, make sure you eat your blueberries, they're high in antioxidants. Antioxidants protect our cells by removing free radicals. Now, these free radicals is what may lead to cancer. So I like to think of it as an analogy I've heard is an apple. You know when you're ready to eat that apple, because we're not drinking that apple juice, right? We're ready to eat that apple. We get a knife, we cut it in half, and then the phone rings or someone's at the door. We go away, we come back, we forget the apple. So let's say 20 or 30 minutes has elapsed. You go back and you look at that apple and you see that it started to brown, right? You know that when you cut an apple and you leave it for a while, it starts to brown. That is oxidation. So when you think of that apple, think of your cells. Your cells need antioxidants to prevent them from, going brown. The way we take care of our cells is by feeding them and bathing them in antioxidants. Antioxidants are primarily found in fruits and vegetables. So these blueberries I was talking about, yes, I have them, and yes, I love them. And it's not unusual for me to eat this entire clamshell of blueberries. Don't be cheap. with the blueberries. If they're on sale, buy them, freeze them, put them in a freezer bag. Use them throughout the winter months or the cold months for smoothies. Blueberries in your salad. Blueberries in by the handful. When you're having a snack, some blueberries, some raspberries, some cashews, some pistachios. That is a healthy snack. We also want to make sure we find fruits and vegetables that are heavily pigmented. Here are some blackberries. Blackberries, anything rich in pigment usually is high in antioxidant. And again, like 2 or 3, that's nothing. I would eat at least half of this in a salad or by itself with some nuts and seeds, or put this in a smoothie. Antioxidants are key. So not just blueberries, not just blackberries, we have guinea, we have raspberries, we have mangosteen, we have pomegranate, oranges, kiwi. Make sure when you go into your grocery store, you're spending more time in the perimeter. Check out the produce section. And again, this is what I encourage people to try out an ethnic grocery store or the international aisle. Try and buy those fruits and vegetables that you normally don't consume. We live in Canada here. We don't grow a lot of fruits and vegetables. So try things that are from different countries. Try things for different flavor and in different colors. Your body will thank you. So we want to make sure we get a lot of these great antioxidants because our cells need them. We need to protect them against free radicals. So antioxidants, we're talking about vitamin C. Vitamin C, a lot of us know you can get from oranges. You can also get vitamin C in bell peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, green peppers, kiwi. Vitamin C, not just in your orange. There's vitamin E, which you can find in a lot of nuts and seeds. There's beta carotene and there's selenium. Brazil nuts, walnuts, that's where you'll find some good sources of selenium. The best way to get these sources of antioxidants is through your food. So I know when you're going shopping, you'll see endless supplements out there promoting all sorts of things. It's not necessary to supplement with antioxidants unless your practitioner has advised you to do so. If you eat well, if you eat blueberries and blackberries and pomegranates and mangosteen and mangoes and pineapples and all of that good stuff, you will get enough antioxidants. 2 facts that I found when it comes to nutrition and cancer. Fruits and vegetables, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables will decrease your risk of breast cancer, of some breast cancers. But a lot of studies have found that a diet high in fruits and vegetables, high in antioxidants, will decrease your risk of some breast cancers. They also found a very strong correlation with alcohol. Alcohol increases your risk of some cancers. So those are the 2 facts and studies that I found out there when it comes to nutrition and breast cancer. It's also important to know that calories are important. This is when you want to eat rich, dense food so you can keep your energy up. Calories is energy. It's energy for your body. And protein, which we talked about, which promotes healing and supports your immune system. Then there's liquids and fluids. So we talked about juice. We don't want to have a lot of juice, but we do need fluids. It's important to aim for about 2 liters of water per day. Clean water that your cells and your skin and your body will thank you for. Aim for 2 liters. You may not be able to do it all at once, but slow and steady, 1 glass at a time will get you there. Now, there are several studies currently underway in terms of dietary factors and how they relate to breast cancer. There are studies currently going on now on acrylamide. Acrylamide is something that's found in French fries. So the jury is out on if there is a direct link, but there are currently some studies going on now. There are also studies going on dairy products. So periodically we'll hear this or that about dairy and a link to breast cancer. The jury is out. There are studies currently underway, so we do not know definitively if there is a correlation. And dietary fat, that is something that is always being studied because scientists want to make sure there is no direct link. There are also studies going on about fiber and folate, again, to show that if an increase or decrease, or what is the amount that one needs to have so they can take care of prevention. And there are studies currently going on meat. We always hear different scientific studies and nutritional studies in the media about meat. If too much meat or no meat, a meat diet or a plant-based diet leads to success with recovery or in terms of prevention. And there are studies going on about soy. So we've heard a lot of misinformation in the past when it comes to soy. So again, scientists are doing some research. So everything that I've just listed, there are no definitive studies in one way or the other when it comes to these foods being in support or negatively harming us when it comes to breast cancer. And finally, there are some studies on vitamin D. Vitamin D is crucial for our bodies. We use it for so many different reactions internally. Although no studies have been proven for breast cancer, it's important that we get enough vitamin D. We have a hard time getting this just from our diet, so it's important to supplement with vitamin D. Again, reach out to your practitioner, get your vitamin D levels tested. Don't take this upon yourself to guess how much vitamin D you need. Go and get your blood work. Go see your family physician or go see your naturopathic doctor. Get a requisition, go to the lab, get your blood drawn, and have an idea of where your vitamin D levels. A lot of people are surprisingly low. They don't know, and you need to know what your baseline is. Find out how much vitamin D, your vitamin D levels, where you are now. Reach out to a practitioner and then see what the steps you need to take to increase your vitamin D levels. It's important to understand what your body needs when it comes to healing, repair, and you need to make good food choices, regardless of a chronic disease or a condition or genetic factors or a family lineage of a certain disease. Making sure you understand your nutrition and making sure that you're making good food choices is key. Recent research shows that factors like body weight, which we talked about, a well-rounded diet high in antioxidants, likely can play a role in prevention, but there's no scientific fact on that as yet. A higher risk of breast cancer recurrence and lower overall survival tends to affect people that are overweight, obese, or who've gained a lot of weight. The key here is you need to maintain a healthy weight. So we talked about a few ways. You need to make sure you're getting a lot of physical activity, which is 150 minutes a week. It's not a lot. You can handle that. And also making sure you're eating a well-rounded diet, that you're having some plant-based foods, and that you're getting a lot of antioxidants. You want to make sure you're eating a lot of vegetables, the green leafy vegetables, a lot of whole grains, which we talked about, a lot of legumes, beans, and lentils, and good grains. We know that grains are seeds of plants, so you want to make sure that you're getting enough of this in your diet. When it comes to beans, which is a great source of protein, remember, you can put them just about in anything. You can put them in a breakfast wrap. You can put them in your salad. You can use them in dips and spreads and make your own hummus. You can put them in chili. It's getting a little cooler this time of year, so it's almost chili time. So putting a lot of different beans and lentils in your chili. And if you like pasta in your spaghetti sauce, you can either put some beans and lentils in addition to the meat, or instead of the meat, a lot of beans and lentils. So those were my tips when it comes to nutrition for breast cancer. And as I mentioned, there were really only two scientific facts. One was fruits and vegetables have a higher increase in prevention, and alcohol is something that we should avoid. We don't need to consume a lot of alcohol. There are so many other ways to relax and enjoy life, and especially if you know that it has negative consequences to you physically. If you have any questions on breast cancer or any sort of nutrition plans, please reach out. I'd be more than happy to help. And I'd like to remind anybody who's watching, if you are currently undergoing treatment or recently diagnosed or dealing with breast cancer yourself or have a loved one that is, you do not have to go through this alone. There are so many fantastic organizations out there that you can lean on for support. There is the Olive Branch of Hope, which is an organization predominantly for Black women or women of African descent, that they are there for you, they will help you, they will advise you. They are that shoulder for you to lean on. The Canadian Cancer Society has a tremendous group of volunteers and infrastructure and support that can help. And men, there are lots of organizations out there, some directed Just Two Men, there is an organization that is geared to prostate cancer, organized support groups that will help. You do not need to go through this on your own. Reach out for help, reach out for a shoulder, reach out for advice. It's so important for you to know that we are all here for you. There are trained professionals ready to listen to you, assist you. If you feel like something's wrong, listen to your body. Don't go through this alone and don't sit on it. If something doesn't, you think you feel something, or, we all know our body. If something doesn't feel right, make an appointment with your family physician. If you don't have a family physician, go to your walk-in clinic, or if you're seeing a naturopath or a wellness practitioner, make an appointment and go get help. That is the first step. So I hope this has been informative. I hope that you've picked up a tip or two. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I wish you health. I wish you great food, and have a great week.
Do you want to be your own boss and make income or extra income with flexible schedule? Welcome to Keenan Courier. Keenan Courier works as a marketplace platform connecting customers who need something delivered with drivers that are willing to serve them. Courier with any vehicle, better trip allocation, and cash out your earnings whenever you want. Download our driver apps today to sign up.
Zillow. Canada's #1 African barbecue, the Suya Spot, serving and satisfying your Suya needs from multiple locations across